We are Teams Erosion. Our names are Joseph, Devin, Jody, Julia, and Thomas, and this is our presentation on agrotimbers.
When our team first explored the design challenge of the overuse of outdoor recreational facilities, we found a shared passion of erosion on trails. First-hand experience on the trails illustrate how the problem had expanded due to COVID-19 lockdowns and social distancing. After thorough research, the team reached out to stakeholders at Jeffco Open Space Mud Lab, where their team builds and maintains trail systems in Jefferson County, Colorado. We used North Table Mountain Trail to create design ideas. It has a northern exposure and has relatively flat terrain that cause erosion problems due to wet, muddy trails. As we explored possible solutions, we received valuable feedback from stakeholders at the Mud Lab team and users by way of surveys. Our goal was to protect local habitats and wildlife while providing a healthy escape to the many users who enjoy the trails year-round.
The overall concept of this project is to mitigate trail widening by making timbers that are strong and durable and can be used to make boardwalks, fences, or whatever the parks need. Implementation includes mainly the making of agrotimbers. All the materials that are being used are easy to get. Making of the mixture is as simple as mixing the components together. The biggest environmental concern is the use of the cement for agrotimbers production. As a team, we address that by making sure that at least 20% of the concrete mixtures used is substituted by spent grains as to reduce the impact and reuse the materials. The rest of the materials needed are environmentally safe by MSDS. It's important to note that the effectiveness of the solution cannot be proved definitely without implementation. However, durability tests performed in agrotimbers suggest that agrotimbers are just as reliable as other alternatives, such as lumber, that are being used effectively to maintain the trails and mitigate trail widening. In our value proposition graphic that you can see on the left, we highlighted the design criteria that we as a team defined in early stages of the project, based on the needs of stakeholders and our own vision.
So, in order to tackle this problem and to create our product, we broke it down into 5 subsystems. The chemical composition, which is, we had to make sure that we had the right ratio of all the different raw materials so that we had something that was durable, something that was that would work. Secondly was the preparation materials. So we had to make sure everything was accessible, everything was cost effective, that it was cheap enough. And also the preparation of the grains, drying them out, because all the dry grains we have come from breweries and they're wet already. So the third one was the production process. How can we make the production process fast? How can we make it efficient so that almost anybody could do it, And fourth was the environmental safety. Is this going to leach into the soil? Are we going to have chemicals leaching in the soil causing issues? Are there going to be critters gnawing on the bricks because it is partially grains? So all of that was sought after in the environmental safety. And finally, testing. Is this going to survive a drop test? Is it flammable? Is it going to just fall apart in the elements and the snow, rain, and all that? So yeah, we had to make sure that was all good. And unfortunately, we couldn't do any long-term testing, but that would be something we could do in the future.
The most important factor of our solution that required validation was that spent grains could be a suitable substitute of traditional concrete ingredients. After preparing and building many test mixtures with varying amounts of spent grains, we found that our agrotimbers had comparable levels of strength for mixtures up to about 20% spent grain. Because the grains are organic material, they tend to absorb water, which makes the concrete mix crumbly and unworkable. Thus, superplasticizer played a heavy role in our validation process because it prevented the grains from absorbing much water, thereby allowing the water and cement to bind. The other 2 aspects of our validation process were coating the material with isoprene, which helped to validate our environmental safety and durability subsystems because it provided a layer of protection between the agrotimber itself and the environment that it will be placed in. And then the accessibility of ingredients. We had to make sure that our project would be suitable for small scale production so that Jeffco Open Space would be able to replicate the work that we did.
We're very thankful for everyone who helped contribute